But this is startling. I mean, we talked about it with Deep Elm. This is really a post-apocalyptic type scenario.
Here's George Floyd. He's the king, and all on the back of this sad guy who was just totally drugged out.
Yeah.
And it's so sad what's happened to all these drug addicts.
Yeah.
But then they become this symbol that the police, who basically are janitors for them now, they clean up their crap, they take them to the hospital, and now when something gets out of hand and there's a mistake and something happens, the police get charged with murder.
Right. Yeah, it is. Did you watch the full body cam footage of
I
George Floyd?
did. It's very sad.
It's very sad, and I think what's going to happen, unfortunately, is you're going to see more backlash because, listen, it's a tragedy. We always said it was an example of improper police training, but there's no example of malice or racism. You know, there are police saying, hey, we're not going to shoot you. Get in the back of the car, please. We'll roll down the window.
He's saying in the back,
I
can't breathe. Sit in the car with me. I'm scared. He was.
And the officer says, I'll roll down the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, a tragedy still, obviously, but there's no way they can make something like second-degree murder stick. And when you talk with people here on these streets and you say, hey, listen, have you watched the footage? They go, I don't need to watch it to know that killing was murder. And it's really concerning.
Well,
because
it all becomes an excuse to riot and burn things down.
Right.
To try to kill the U.S. economy. It's what Bill Maher and all the Democrats said. We want a depression, we want a recession, we want a crashing stock market, so people reject President Trump. And so Trump needs to get out there. Trump needs to get out there and expose the fact that it is the Democrats and the deep state who are trying to crash the whole economy to bring the entire U.S. down with them, to have a new Marshall Plan nationwide to bail them out. Because the truth is, the blue cities and blue states have been horribly mismanaged. They're kleptocracies. They've robbed their people. They're collapsing. So now they're trying to collapse the whole country to make all the red states and the Midwest and other areas bail them out. So that's why they're trying to bring the country down and saying the dollar is going to die and all the rest of this, is because they literally know America is waking up to them, so they're trying to destroy us before we actually wake up.
I was going to say, this is probably the dirtiest city, if you guys can see the river that I've seen.
It looks like a hobbit would walk out from under it. But now you go down here, there's needles and feces and hepatitis everywhere. Look at this.
Why don't they have an organization in the city here, if they're talking about community organizing, to just clean stuff up?
They get 30-something times the money they got 50 years ago for the homeless here or more, and none of it goes to them. The Democrats siphon it all off, and they steal every damn bit of it.
Yeah, this is filthy. This is not what it was.
You smell that piss?
Yeah, I do. I smell that bum piss.
But you know what that bum piss really is? That's the smell of the dander of dust mites. I hate the smell.
I don't know. I thought it was just bum piss is bad enough. I think bum piss is worse than dust mites. You have dust mites.
I'm allergic to bum piss. I'm serious.
Oh, do you need some water?
Oh my God. I'm serious. I smell that shit. I can't do it.
Okay, hey, listen, if you guys can find these numbers for us, what percentage of COVID deaths are nursing home related? They stopped keeping record. I haven't seen them for Michigan.
About
40%.
It was about 42%.
But they stopped a long time ago.
So 47%, yeah.
Yeah. And now, but you can't find those updates.
And now they will not release the numbers.
They won't release crime numbers either. They won't release crime numbers on interracial crime statistics right now, on rape statistics. A lot of these numbers keep changing. That's why we had some Bureau of Justice, or was it Department of Justice or FBI? I think we'll have the overlay here, about who was committing which crimes. You know, number one cause of death for young black Americans, homicide. We say that because we want to actually help all black lives, not the very, very small percentage of black lives.
That's right. We have the FBI statistics. We put them out on Instagram, and Instagram banned them, where it shows 10-to-1 black on white crime.
Yeah, but they've stopped recording them that way. I think, were those 2008 statistics or 2012? Because they've changed the way they do statistics, and we can't find some. And that's what's really concerning to me. If we're going to talk about, listen, silencing information, we should all be on board with at least providing information to the public.
Well, the truth is, the Democrat cities is where everybody's getting killed, no matter what color they are.
Right.
And the most dangerous place for a black person's in their mother's womb. And thank God Margaret Sanger's main original Planned Parenthood in New York took her name off of it, because she actually said black people need to be exterminated as weeds. So how is her name on the Planned Parenthood buildings? So the left's finally figuring out, hey, this is somebody that said kill all the black people, but she's supposedly a liberal.
Right.
I mean, Margaret Sanger, Hitler gave her awards and said, what I know from you.
Right.
So Margaret Sanger inspired Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Henry Ford being anti-Semitic, which we know he had kind of wrote some letters there to the Nazis, but still wasn't actually exterminating black people in record numbers as the plan we saw carried out by Margaret Sanger. If you're going to take down memorials for Jefferson or Abraham Lincoln, for God's sake, you got to take that name off the marquee. We get in trouble no matter what we do, so it's kind of white noise again.
Yeah, well,
we got in trouble for the Chaz stream. They took that down on Facebook because they said we were inciting violence. Where we went to Chaz, we actually rented out Raz Simone. We rented out his Airbnb.
Yeah, you're not supposed to show what's happening.
Yeah. They declared that, so you know, having an Alex Jones video ban ain't gonna mean all that much to me.
Well, just remember, folks, all those doctor videos, and if he ever gets banned, God forbid, they're all at banned.video and newswars and infowars.com. And this guy's awesome. Support him and be part of the Mug Club. Get one of these awesome T-shirts right here, because this is one of the few guys out there that's not a coward.
Let's get him some water and get him away from the, what is it, hobo piss dander? What's it called?
Well, I mean,
dust mites.
Yes.
They live in hobo piss? We'll talk about this off
I've talked
air.
to the EMS and I've talked to medical doctors, and what makes you nauseated, it's not just the smell of the piss. What we call the smell of bum piss, that has that sweet, nauseating smell.
Yeah, I wouldn't say sweet.
Well, it does. It's a sweet stench. It makes me want to throw up like rotten meat. It is the crap of dust mites.
Ugh.
And that smell just, man, they wanted to torture me. I shouldn't be, they would lock me up.
Yeah, let's not get, they could waterboard you with hobo piss. Is it exclusive to bum piss as opposed to
By the way,
normal?
where are all these loving liberals? We saw women out there on the ground with sores all over their bodies like Day of the Dead zombies. And we have shanty towns we drive. Hell, there's a giant shanty town only 100 yards away. You want to see that in with that?
I don't want to go to the shanty town.
Well, let's just...
No, we ended on bum piss. You and I are just talking now. You're not going to beat dust mite bum piss, Alex.
Texas and America are away. That woman saying F America. Look at her. That woman saying F America. Yeah, you hate America, you slob. Go to North Korea, you slob. See that? There's an Austinite, a Californian that came here saying F America. USA. USA. Look at that slob. Go interview